The show starts off with Aisha, a school student who has seen strange visions of herself and is now attending another session of her therapy with Dr. Sharon. Rewinding to how her day went, Aisha's friends come to pick her up, and they all go to hang out that morning. Before attending the class, she meets her boyfriend, Levi. During a class, the lesson is about cymatics, and here we meet one of the friends of Aisha, Jenny. While the teacher shows the students patterns through frequency, Aisha starts to have a headache. And in a desperate move, she hits the table and turns off the device. Though explaining this to Dr. Sharon, who neglects it, saying that she is human with an incurable disease. After this session, she receives a voice message from Carrie inviting Aisha to a party. Fostered by Martin, Aisha lies to him saying she's going over to study. Attending to Levi, she finds him cheating on her with a robot. She gets up and leaves. At the party, Aisha meets Carrie, who doesn't take the matter seriously, causing Aisha to leave. She gets drunk and tries to get intimate with Caleb when Levi intervenes. Levi tries to apologize, but Aisha doesn't pay any attention to him, going upstairs and locks herself in a restroom. She falls down, breaking the glass on herself and cuts her arm. Taking out the shard, she sees light emitting from there. Taking a tweezer, she pulls out her ear only to see a lit-up wire coming out. She pulls it out and breaks it. We see Aisha on her bed with a bloody knife on the side. She wakes up to see that she has made a hole in her abdomen. At school, Carrie confronts Aisha, asking where she had gone. Turns out people had found the bathroom covered in blood. She makes excuses, to which Carrie asks if it is about Levi, and Aisha runs away without answering. In the restroom, she sees that she has a serial number. Trying to write it down, Jenny discovers her, trying to see what is going on, but Aisha forcefully leaves. Aisha calls Sharon and asks if she can get an emergency appointment. Aisha stops an android named William. Turns out he cannot go outside the premises due to security. She takes William to her room and asks if he knows anything about what is inside her body. She tells her that it's haptic sensors and denies any further explanation about this, threatening to report it. At the therapy, Aisha shows Sharon the mechanic parts of herself. She asks if her father knows, and during that, she glitches and Sharon tries to calm her down. She states some codes and Aisha goes into programming mode. Seeing what happened, she calls someone and says that it has happened again. The next day, Aisha is in a dream where she is seen in her room again and cuts open her pet just to discover that it too is a machine. Waking up, she finds her pet all right and she has no more cuts herself either. She lies to her father about having cramps, not telling him what is going on, even though her father seems a bit suspicious about her activities. She just brushes it off, saying that she had a nightmare. Her father gets ready for work and Aisha leaves for school, but before going, she asks if she can go to Carrie's place for Saturday. When meeting Carrie, it seems like she doesn't remember anything and Carrie is mad with her. Dr. Sharon is trying to find anything that could cause future issues and stumbles upon where Aisha wrote her serial number on her phone. Looking through her phone, Aisha goes to the classroom and Jenny confronts Aisha to tell her all she knows and won't tell anyone. But Aisha's memory has been wiped. Jenny tells Aisha that she is sorry and turns on the frequency, causing Aisha to lose her mind and ask Jenny to stop, proving to Aisha that she is an android. Though Jenny is trying to help, she is not taking any of it. On her way, she confronts William, who tells Aisha that they had talked yesterday, which Aisha does not recall anything about. Aisha asks William what they talk about. William tells her that her memory drive was wiped and tells her that he can restore it. Upon data restoration, everything comes back to her. Trying to run away, she finds out that she too has geographical limitations and cannot go away from there. We encounter Noah, who introduces everyone to a new nanotech and helps inject a deaf girl's ear, saying that she will be able to hear again. Slowly, the nano machines start to warm and she can hear for the first time. Noah meets his assistant, who tells him something is going off in Merced. The scene shifts to the school where Aisha tries to convince Levi to give him the bypass codes he used on the bot to cheat. Taking the code, he tells Aisha that she may get tracked. Aisha uses library computers to use the codes and print the pages. Stating the codes, she can hear a voice asking for a bypass code. Upon entering the code she had written down, she bypasses all limitations and now can hear everything a normal human cannot. She eavesdrops on a conversation with a couple and replays the recording, causing trouble in the library. In the bathroom, she turns off her menstrual cycle, further learning the limit breaks. On her way back, she turns off Gamma 91, causing her to see all of her surrounding people's data. It is fun in the beginning, but slowly turns into chaos as the data download is way more than she should have. This causes her to see others' memories and crimes committed, and she shuts herself down. Noah meets Abel and tells him to leave Merce Magnet School, giving him the tools to take down any threat and any android on the premises. Martin finds Aisha, and even though Aisha asks him to take her to hospital, he declines, taking her back home. In the classroom, Jenny is doing research on androids to learn more about them and get to know about Rebellious. Martin, dropping Aisha off, calls someone on the phone. Even though she increases the audio, she cannot hear who is on the other side. Coming back to her room, she opens up one of her pills just to find the liquid inside of it. Turns out that the liquid is a concoction of nano machines. All the medication was given to her by Dr. Sharon and she dumped it. It is revealed that Dr. Sharon is the one working with Martin. Though Martin tries to reason, Sharon puts him down and tells him that she will be tracked down the moment she becomes aware. Aisha is looking through the house to find if Martin is hiding something. She finds a tablet that activates the surveillance tablet, which tells everything that Aisha says and thinks is all that is seen through it, always being watched. The narrative shifts to the past 4 years ago. When Aisha first meets Martin, she tells him that Sharon is her mother and is at the meeting. Aisha is playing Go and Martin takes an interest and plays with her. They both engage in a game and Aisha beats Martin. Sharon comes and later that day engages in a conversation with Martin where he talks about the future of the girl, unaware that she is an android. She was checking her thoughts of Martin on Aisha and not talking about herself. They spend a night together and Martin tells to what happened to his daughter, who succumbed to a bad fate due to a disease. Sharon and Martin started to grow closer every day. 3 months later, the system reports that Aisha has a dangerous low battery and Sharon panics. Aisha is with Martin, who picked her up from school, and while on call with Sharon, Aisha starts to malfunction. Sharon finally catches up to them and turns off Aisha. Back home, Sharon had no other option but to reveal the truth about Aisha. Martin doesn't want to listen and leaves. 2 months later, Sharon meets Martin again and tries to talk him through this and comes with him. Despite neglecting it, he has no other option but to agree for Aisha's sake, creating false proofs and memories. At the present time, Aisha confronts Martin and emotionally manipulates him into telling her about her past. 6 years ago, Sharon is working with Noah at Rebellious, where they are making a program for highly advanced security systems. Martin tries to convince her that no one is supposed to know about her or else they will shut her down. With this revelation, Aisha goes away for a moment. Martin tries to go after her, but she is long gone. At school, William confronts Aisha as she seems upset. Aisha sarcastically asks if he can stop people from wiping her memory, to which William says that he can help. Martin, still not being able to grasp the situation, gets flashbacks of his daughter. Aisha goes to Sharon and tells her to shut her monitoring system, not wanting to hear the situation down. Aisha does not stop throwing tantrums just to test her. She threatens Sharon through a recording, blackmailing her to stop the monitoring system. Tired of this, Sharon complies and takes her to the back room. Sharon takes her hand and starts to disable the monitoring systems. After a successful bypass, Aisha goes away. We see Aisha getting ready, being in her rebellious phase, taking the tweezer and pulling out the wire from her ears. Turning into an edgy-like teenager, Emma, a female android, comes and informs Aisha about the report of Levay being intimate with a bot. When Aisha asks if she wants to eat, Emma rejects, telling her that it would look more like human than us. Aisha asks how Emma knew about her being an android. Emma points out that her microphone array is sticking out. Aisha's friends try to stop her from talking, but she rejects any proposals and goes away. The scene shifts to Sharon in a flashback to when she had made Aisha 5 years ago. Both brothers are surprised by this. Aisha could be a step towards revolution, and AI indistinguishable from humans. Though Noah asks what the point of a product is, one who doesn't even know who it is. The brothers mention the dangers of such beings to humanity and the company's charter. Abel takes Aisha away. At the current time, Abel is now at school. In her class, Aisha is making doodles on her paper and the teacher questions her. Not performing well would result in no admission to her designated university, to which she responds that she will not go. Going outside, she sees Abel taking Emma, overriding her geographical limitation and ultimately shooting her. This shocks Aisha and Abel sees her. As she tries to run away, Abel follows her. Running away, Jenny calls for her to stop. Jenny tells Aisha that she has a tracker inside her, so she finds her. The scene shifts to a laboratory where Abel interrogates William. Amidst that, Abel detects Carrie, who runs away. Ignoring that, Abel returns. Sharon also tracks down Aisha, and alongside Martin they leave. Meanwhile, Jenny removes the tracker from Aisha's foot and takes her away. She explains to her all about the Rebellious and gear of the MBD company, diving deep into her past and the company who made her and is after her. She shares what she saw happening to Emma, fearing it might happen to her too. To cheer Aisha up, she shows Aisha things that they had been collecting together. Later in the day, Aisha returns home thinking about leaving for Vancouver. Though Martin tries to stop her, he tries to reason with her, but she is unhinged and forces Martin to stay away from her way. She emotionally manipulated Martin again to make her way out. Jenny and Aisha meet Levi again and ask him to drive them. He says he will go get his jacket first, but they have plans far from that. In the evening, Abel confronts Carrie in her car and injects her with green fluid. At the current time, Martin and Sharon are devastated and unable to track Aisha. They notice the door left open and Abel comes out and confronts both of them. Aisha, Levi, and Jenny are on their way. They repeat what happened with Emma, and Aisha gets upset as Levi tells her that Emma has been turned into scrap metal, making her further stressed. The trio stays at a motel for the night. In the morning, Levi heads out to get some coffee, and Aisha gives out a theory to Aisha to recover some memories, and Jenny tries to help do that. They begin doing that and restore all the erased data. This causes Aisha to have all the memories from the past. Abel tells Noah back at the office that Aisha is alive and Sharon has stolen her. Recovering her memories, she remembers her connection with Jenny and how she was connected with her. They spend some time together, and soon they share their love for each other. After that, Aisha drops Jenny at home and excitedly leaves for her house. Then, in another memory, Aisha is waiting outside her house with rocks formed like a heart, but Martin comes to stop her and asks her to put them back. Sharon and Martin try to remove her memories of Jenny and feelings for her. Martin confronts Sharon if she even has feelings or is just using him. Sharon removes her memories, and the next day, Aisha ignores Jenny, sitting at another table. The memories then go back to Rebellious Corp when Abel takes Aisha away in a cargo, trying to put her away. At the current time, Aisha snaps and runs away. A year later, Sharon breaks Aisha out of the storage unit and runs away. That ball, which Aisha was of the boy she saw in a flashback a few days ago. At the current time, Levi's car is being trailed by a drone. The duo try to locate where Aisha could have run off. Aisha, sitting on the side of the road, has a low battery. In a flashback, she remembers telling Sharon that she felt lonely. For her, they tried to make her a robot sibling, which was made to keep her company while in the storage area. The boy said that the child was only in her memories. Simultaneously, Jenny and Levi locate Aisha and speedily aid her. Aisha reveals that she has a brother and then passes out. Upon recharging and waking up, she has a conversation with Levi about their past. Aisha, letting go, tries to lighten the mood. Levi goes aside for a moment, and suddenly, Abel comes and deactivates her with a gun. Abel takes Aisha back to her Rebellious factory. Levi and Jenny try to look for her, but to no avail. Jenny shares the news about Carrie being in a coma. The scene shifts to Abel taking Aisha, and she tries to engage in a conversation. Abel, tired of her talking, confronts her, but she tells him that she is authentic and human-like, just like them, to which Abel denies and continues taking her to the laboratory. Rethinking, he considers taking her to her brother and giving Aisha only 5 minutes to do what she has to. Aisha, rushing downstairs, opens her brother's storage box and meets her again. Noah, predicting where Abel could be, comes into the room and sees what they are up to. Noah, given their time, is about to go to shut her off, but Abel stops him. Learning the name of her brother Callian, she's playing with. Noah shuts him off and takes Aisha to the meeting room, where she meets Martin and Sharon. Noah confronts both of them that whether she lives or dies is not dependent on them, as Sharon was the one to steal their technology to make her, giving a point that machines like her will make everyone doubtful of each other whether they are human or not. Aisha, furious about this, talks rudely to Noah and leaves the room, to which Noah complains about their parenting. She starts to lose strength in her body while Noah explains that his brother has installed a patch that will start to delete her programming, making her have only 5 minutes left. Having flashbacks again, she makes her way to Callian. Martin making his way to her, Aisha expresses her feelings for her friends and family before fading out. Abel takes Callian and Aisha away to put an end to them. We see Sharon and Martin in distress, trying to figure out a way to bring her back, but nothing seems to be helpful. Jenny and Levi confront Martin, who tells them something that Aisha had mentioned. Though mentioning something strange about Picasso, her ferret, hardly anything is understood. The next day at school, they see Carrie alive and well, who asks about Aisha, to which not much answer is given. Levi thanks Williams, and he asks Levi when Aisha will be coming back as she has an appointment, to which are both confused, understanding what she meant by Picasso. Inside Out, appointment details were password protected and open with that Picasso word being inside out. Using that multiple times, they finally get it right. William changes his backup drive from William to Aisha, but this immediately informs both Abel and Noah about this through their security. Martin gets a voicemail in which she says that her code is alive, and she will be finding the one who can get her a new body. This brought joy to Martin. Then the scene shifts to a manufacturing department where workers are making limbs, and we see a glimpse of Aisha once again, concluding the story and making a possibility for any upcoming events.